Welcome to our today's anatomy class. In our today's class, we'll be looking at the anatomy of the testes. Right here is a 2D diagram of the testes. The testes can also be referred to as the testicle. A single testis. Testicle. So the testes are bilateral organs suspended by the spermatic cord. In a sac-like structure called scrotum. The testes are bilateral structure. The testis is a plural form of testis. So we have two testes, left and right testis, hence they are called bilateral structures. So the testes are suspended by spermatic cord in a sac-like structure called the scrotum. Now the testis in adults is about 4.5 centimeter long. It's about 2.5 centimeter wide and 3 centimeter thick. The testis is surrounded by 3 layers of tissues. Each testis is surrounded by 3 layers of tissues. So what are these 3 layers that surround the testis? The outer layer is called the tunica vaginalis. The middle layer is called the tunica albuginea. While the innermost layer is called the tunica vasculosa. So the tunica albuginea, so the tunica vaginalis, which is the outer layer, is right here. The tunica vaginalis. The tunica vaginalis is an outer layer of serous membrane that surrounds the testis, while the tunica albuginea is a middle layer of fibrous tissue that divides the testis into lobules. So these are the lobules. This is a lobule, this is another lobule, this is another lobule, this is another lobule, this is another lobule. So the tunica albuginea is a middle fibrous layer of the testis that divides the testis into lobules. While the tunica vasculosa is the innermost layer of the testis that is firmly attached to the tissues of the testis. This layer contains blood capillaries, so the blood vessels of the testis. Now, it is very important to note that within the lobes of the testis, we have over 900 tubules, coiled tubes or tubules, known as the seminiferous tubule. So in each lobe of the testis, we have tube known as what? We have tubule, known as the seminiferous tubule. So this tubule continues as the vas efferent. The vas efferent now continues as the epididymis. And the epididymis further continues as the vas differens, or what we call the different dot, different dot, what we call the different dot. Now, this different dot is attached to the seminal vesicle, one of the accessory organs of the male reproductive system, to form the ejaculatory duct. And the ejaculatory duct continues as the urethra. It is important to note that the seminiferous tubule produce hormones. They produce spermatozoa. So when spermatozoa is produced by cells in the seminiferous tubule, they are transported to the vas efferent. From the vas efferent, it will now be transported into the epididymis, where it will be stored temporarily. During ejaculation, it is released from the epididymis into the vas deferens, from the vas deferens to the ejaculatory duct, from the ejaculatory duct to the urethra, where it will finally be released into the vaginal canal or to the exterior. The testis contains some endocrine cells. So these cells produce hormones. So what are these endocrine cells that are found in the testis? Endocrine cells. So the endocrine cells of the testis are, one, we have what we call the Leydig interstitial cell. Interstitial cells of Leydig. That's the interstitial cell of Leydig. We have what we call the Sertoli cells. So the interstitial cell of Leydig produce an hormone called testosterone. So this hormone is responsible for secondary sexual characteristics in male, while the Sertoli cell produce an hormone called inhibin. So this inhibin inhibits the release of follicle-stimulating hormone, which in turn stops spermatozoa production and the production of sperm cells by the seminiferous tubules. Now, it is also important for us to note that the testes have some special blood supply. So what are the blood supply of the testes that I would like you to know? The blood supply of the testes. So the testes is supplied by the testicular artery. Oxygenated blood from the heart is taken to the tissues of the testes by the testicular artery, while the venous drainage of the testes is testicular vein, and is the same name. So the testicular vein carries the oxygenated blood away from the testes. Why the nerve supply to the testes is branches of T10 and what? T11. So branches of the 10th and 11th thoracic nerve carries sensory and motor impulses from and away from the brain to the testes. Now, it is also important to note that there are some clinical correlates. There are some applied anatomy of this very important organ. So what are the applied anatomy of this organ called the testes? One of the applied anatomy that I would like you to take note of is applied anatomy. Applied anatomy of the testis. One is a condition called orchitis. Orchitis is the inflammation of the testis caused by either a bacterial infection or a viral infection. Then we also have a condition known as hydrocele. Hydrocele. Hydrocele is the accumulation of serous fluid in the tunica vaginalis. The tunica vaginalis has two layers. So in between the parietal and the visceral layer of the tunica vaginalis, there's a peritoneal cavity there. So serous fluid can accumulate in this area. Then we can also have a condition called hematocele. Hematocele is the abnormal accumulation of blood between the layers of the tunica vaginalis as a result of trauma or injury. Then we can also have what we call testicular torsion. Testicular torsion. The testes, as I said, the left and right testes are suspended in the scrotum by the spermatic cord. This spermatic cord contains vital structures such as the papilliform plexus of veins, the testicular artery, the vas deferens, and even the cremasteric artery that supply the cremasteric muscles. So there are some vital neurovasculatures and structures within the spermatic cord that is supporting the testis. So if there's a twisting of the spermatic cord, it can result to damage of the testis. So testicular torsion is the twisting of the spermatic cord. This twisting can result to the cut off of blood supply to the testis, resulting to the death of the testis. So testicular torsion is a very serious clinical condition. Now, I would say that we also have a condition called cryptorchidism. Cryptorchidism is a situation where it's a clinical condition whereby the testis refuses to descend from the posterior wall of the abdomen into the scrotum, which is outside the body. So during development, the testes, which originally were in the posterior walls of the abdomen, descend into the scrotum. But in this condition, one or both of the testes may refuse to descend into the scrotum. And if this condition is not quickly attended to, can result to damage to the testes under the influence of the high body temperature. Then lastly is referred pain. So referred pain in relation to the testes it's a situation whereby it's a condition whereby pains from the testes radiate to the lower abdomen. We feel pain from our lower abdomen or our groins when the testis is traumatized because the nerves, the neurons that the branches of the T10 and T11 thoracic nerves that supply the testis also supply this region. Because the same nerve that supply the testis supply the lower part of the abdomen. If there's an injury or there's a trauma on the testis, the pain can be referred to the lower abdomen or to the groin areas, which are supplied by the T10 and T11 spinal segments. This is how far we'll be going with the anatomy of the testis. I hope to see you in my next class. I am Simon, your anatomy educator. Thanks for attending today's class.